Republicans are in a bit of a pickle at the moment, y'all. They really and truly don't understand the wave that's already hitting, right? And so they have this smug, arrogant disdain for the people who showed up to the town halls to press the Republican Congress people about the horrible job they're doing, and disdain for these federal workers who are just being destroyed and terrorized by Elon Musk's lunacy, right? So I have a couple examples of this. Here's Laura Ingraham. As Midas Touch points out, they literally can't even hide their disdain for working people. Here's Laura Ingraham on the federal workers.
How do you resurrect your party, though? By protecting red tape and the bureaucracy, by trying to gin up sympathy for federal workers who need to get real jobs in the real world like most of America. Ever heard of it?
Oh, the irony. Laura Ingraham, who gets paid millions to read a teleprompter in an air-conditioned studio, is talking down to biomedical researchers, flight safety officials, and nuclear safety experts, the people who actually keep the country running. But sure, they should get a real job while she sits there parroting corporate talking points.
Now, do Democrats really think that Americans will stop liking Trump because he fires these people?
Yeah, get a real job, Mr. Biomedical Researcher who's trying to cure child cancer. Get a real job, Mr. Flight Safety Official, Air Traffic Controller who was just laid off after we had another 3 plane crashes. Can you believe these people? Can you believe these people? They literally fired the people who protect our nukes. They fired the top official who does nuclear safety, the top guy. Then they had to bring him back, tail tucked between their legs, begging. Did you hear how she talked about that? I'm going to play it one more time. Even I struggle to wrap my mind around this, that some human being could be this fucking dense.
How do you resurrect your party, though? By protecting red tape and the bureaucracy. By trying to gin up...
She calls it red tape. Protecting red tape. Because, you know, I want child cancer research funded. I want the anti-scam police funded, which Elon killed. I want the Department of Education to exist.
Sympathy for federal workers who need to get real jobs in the real world like most of America. Ever heard of it? Now, do Democrats really think that Americans will stop liking Trump?
We have to point it out, too. Bitch, you make millions of dollars a year to sit in an air-conditioned studio and pretend to be holier than thou. To spew hatred for immigrants and trans people. To spew the robber baron's agenda. You think you have a real job? The difference between me and you, we do a very similar thing. The difference between me and you is I know I don't have a real job. This is not a real job. I know what a real job is. I've had them before. This is not a real job. The arrogance, acting like these federal workers, the actual people who make the government function, every good thing about the government functions because of these federal workers. You should get a real job like me where I give my opinions in an air-conditioned studio and I'm an asshole 5 days a week. All right, we got more. Republican Representative McClain, listen to what she ended up saying about these town halls, right? All these town halls where angry voters are showing up. Many of them are Republicans who are showing up who are mad at these Republican Congress people for not holding Elon and Trump accountable. Ready? Listen to what she says. This is incredible.
So good morning, everyone. I want to start with last week. Videos of protesters yelling at members of Congress went viral, right?
Classic Republican playbook. When regular people push back, call them hijackers or radicals. Notice the dodge? Instead of admitting that their own voters are furious, they try to reframe it as some elite conspiracy. Meanwhile, the actual bloated bureaucracy, military contractors, corporate subsidies, billionaires evading taxes, never gets touched.
But the content focused on the confrontation, not the why. Some of the people that hijacked those town halls are happy with the bloated status quo.
That's how you describe what they're mad at? They just want the bloated...
This is next-level gaslighting. These aren't sob stories. These are real people losing their livelihoods. The FAA, NIH, and Department of Education aren't some random wasteful spending pits. They literally make sure your planes don't crash, your kids don't get poisoned by bad medicine, and your student loans aren't scams. But nah, let's just gut everything so Elon Musk can rake in another tax break.
Status quo. That's how you describe... I remember back like 4 or 5 years ago when you had all these right-wing commentators who would smugly state In order to be a serious person, you need to steelman your opponent. Don't strawman them. Present the best version of their argument. Yeah. Does that seem like a fair description of why those people were there? I want to protect the bloated bureaucracy. Oh my God, we're not done. Wait, it gets worse.
They want the bloated status quo to continue. They don't want to get our country back on track. Yet Democrats are soliciting sob stories from bloated bureaucrats with six-figure salaries. Give me a break.
Sob stories from bureaucrats with six figures. Again, let's be very specific. Let's be very clear why people are furious. They are furious because the Doge idiots were hacking into our nuclear information. They are furious because Elon Musk killed the anti-scam police, the CFPB. They're furious because they're dismantling the Department of Education. They're furious because they're cutting NIH funding, which includes biomedical research, which includes cancer research for kids. This is why they're furious because of the fact that this is all illegal, all unconstitutional. Congress has the power of the purse. The president signed the bill. You can't go in on the back end and say, I'm just going to delete what I want to delete. Elon is deleting the agencies that regulate him. You're hearing all these sob stories of people who've been like working a government job and doing a good, like again, flight safety officials, FAA officials. These are the kinds of people you're hearing all these sob stories. Sob stories, they were already understaffed and now they did 2 rounds of firings for FAA workers, flight safety officials. Now we've had like...
Translation. We just ripped away your income and stability. But hey, don't worry. God will figure it out. This is the peak of Republican laziness. When it's time to cut taxes for billionaires, plenty of detailed plans. But when regular people get crushed, thoughts and prayers.
9 plane crashes. Sob stories. We want a functioning country, you dumb bitch. And also, a lie, because not all these, these government bureaucrats who do the real work, not all of them make 6-figure salaries. But guess what? The ones who do probably fucking deserve it. They probably fucking... This is what you get, guys, when it's anti-government fundamentalism, it's anti-government extremism, it's slash and burn, it's anarcho-capitalism, but it's actually worse than that. Because it's not just that. It's only that for you. It's only that for working people. It is, let the robber barons loot the treasury for the rich, right? They get to do whatever they want. Corporations get whatever money they want. Military-industrial complex gets whatever money it wants. But sorry, we got to slash your Medicaid. $880 billion cut in Medicaid. $880 billion. And she voted for it. She voted for it. One more for you. Representative Mark Alford tells Kansas City federal workers, God has a plan. Don't worry. I know you guys, park rangers, people like that. I know you're losing your jobs. I know you're being illegally fired by the world's richest robber baron. Don't worry. God has a plan. If I said the thing I wanted to say right now, I would be guaranteed to get banned. So I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But I'm thinking it. But I'm fucking thinking it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm.
This whole segment exposes a brutal truth. The Republican elite despises their own base. They will pander to them for votes, but the second working class conservatives demand basic accountability. Suddenly, they're radicals and hijackers. Fire the bottom line. MAGA's biggest enemy isn't the Democrats, it's reality. And reality is finally catching up. Speech balloon, drop a comment below. Do these Republicans think we're all this stupid?